Alright, so this morning we got Allison's car out here, and basically he's got his winter set up, and he decided he wanted to commit to some summer wheels and some coilovers. This is a V6 Mustang. He's got a cold air and a tune on it, so it's the ECM is flashed, and it moves pretty good, you know, for what it is. So he just needs to do some maintenance. You know, you can see it's kind of dirty, and then I'm gonna pull the you know, the winter setup off and store those for him, and then he's gonna put a set of, like, you know, some classic Mustang wheels onto the car. It's a 14, so it's the last year for this body style. He's got all the leather and the kind of the deluxe. You see he's got his winter mats in there. You got carpet for this thing?
Yeah.
Yep. So he'll probably, you know, put the carpet in there, and it's a little bit better. And you know, the summer setup will be a much nicer vehicle. But this is his daily. This is the only car he's got for right now. And then so, you know, you got to do what you got to do in the winter time to try to preserve the vehicle. I'm not sure what this. Oh, that must be who tuned the car. It's got his name on there. Sorry about that. Now his name's on YouTube. I don't know what that. Oh, I guess this is because it's got an aftermarket hood, so that's the name of the company that makes the hood. It's kind of got, you know, he had it painted, and somebody dicked him over there in the middle there, some asshole. But yeah, it's got these you know, these louvers, and then this is active air, active ram air. You can see it kind of goes into, well, this is kind of coming apart. We can maybe help him out with that, and then you know, it goes down to his air box over there. So yeah, pretty cool. We're gonna get started here, and I'll update you once I get a little bit of progress done. Basic coilover install. His coilovers didn't come with preload. I'll try and show those, but it's kind of uncircumstantial. It's just, you know, your basic you know, coilover install, and then we'll adjust the height, and that'll probably sometime around there, unless something comes up that's interesting about the Fords, kind of like you know, when I came across that power steering line on Keenan's GTO, I thought that was super interesting, so I went ahead and filmed that. But so yeah, I'll get cracking on it, and then I'll update you when there's something to update. All right, so we got it jacked up. It's beginning to understand kind of what the little, you know, every car kind of has its idiosyncrasies or whatever, idiosyncrasies, whatever, you know what I mean. So all the wheels had these little lock washers on them. No big deal. We just cut them off because turns out you don't need them. Actually, the back brakes are vented, which is pretty cool. This is the last year, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think the 14 was the last year for the solid rear axle. You know, so the coilover system basically consists of removing this strut. You know, you keep the stock springs on the axle there, and then you know, you run an adjustable strut setup that goes right here. The front brakes are actually pretty big for a stock car. They look about 12 inches. So that's pretty nice. The new brakes that we're gonna put on here are, I think they're Power Stop or Stop Tech. They're pretty nice too. This car has a weird sensor right here. It's all these gears, and then the sensor right here is the pickup. I don't know if that's what the odometer reads, or if that's you you know, a speed pickup. Traditionally, the speed pickup is in the transmission, so I'm not sure what that sensor is, but it's not going to get in my way, so I'm not real worried about it. So we'll pop all these brakes out, get the struts out, and then we'll get the front ones in first. Put it there. And look at there, YouTube magic. The car's done. It's out of the garage. Here's the old clunky ass front suspension. The back suspension was kind of, I guess it was kind of a first for me. I never really worked on a car with a solid rear axle. The back springs come out. They're supplemented in with like a new set of these back springs. You probably can't really get eyes on them too well. So these struts right here, you know, those are obviously the new parts. And then the spring is actually up in here. It sits right on that stock mount. And then you know, all this hardware is all stock. And really what we did, he went with the Nitto Invo tires. I don't know what kind of wheels those are, but we did wheels, brakes, suspension, tires, obviously. And really kind of what we did was we kind of just took the aftermarket struts. I think they're SR Performance, never heard of them. But the kit was very nice. As far as the application went, the application was perfect, bolted right in. The locations for these uber long stabilizer bar ends, I guess. I don't know what those are called, but anyway, they just kind of go in the back of here and then go up to a stabilizer bar. With lowering the car, it actually has an adjustable one of those. So what we did was we measured those. I think those measured out to be like 24 inches. And we just lowered them 3 inches. 3 inches on every corner. And you're looking at, you know, 3-finger fitment. And I think the wheels and tires are another, you know, they're about 2 inches wider. These are 19-inch wheels, and I think we pulled the stock ones. The stock ones are 17s. Wait till you get eyes on these. These are now, he's now got the luxury of saying that these are just his winter beaters. So, but he did go with the, you know, with the Bridgestone Blizzaks, but for winter beaters, they'll do the trick. But I mean, there you got the car now. Holy shit, right? And it's dirty and it still looks pretty decent. So, and really, we kind of, how long did it take?
About 6 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, really kind of, I mean, I had done coilovers before, but having Brendan to kind of run around and do the odds and ends type shit, you know, hey, tighten it, put the wheels on, you know, jack the car up, you know, just do the odds and ends type shit. 6 hours really for coilovers, brakes, test drive. The test drive went good. I did forget one bolt on the back strut to completely torque it down. So got back, torqued it down, ran the car through the brakes actually come with a, we got the keys?
Yeah.
You locked it because we were going so far away. So the brakes actually came with like a, okay, I lied, that's the TPMS. But the brakes came with like a break-in procedure as far as how to heat them up. So, you know, accelerate to 40 miles an hour, decelerate down to 10, and then 35 to 5, and drive slowly to cool down your brakes. I don't know why driving slowly would cool down your brakes. You could drive fast and it would also cool down your brakes. But anyway, that was mainly for the pads. It came with these carbon fiber pads, and really the kind of the pads that he had on there were you know, there's a lot of life left in them. There's still a lot of life left on these stock rotors, but let's face it, I mean, they just wouldn't look that good on there. So see, I'm actually pretty happy when those wheels came in and they were in the box. I was like, you know, not my style. I mean, you guys kind of know my style. I would go something a little bit more tuner, and he went with straight American eat me type shit. So, but they look good. You know what I mean? It damn near looks like a muscle car, even though it's a V6. So it looks clean. He's happy with it. That means I'm happy with it. So probably the next thing we'll do is we'll pull this thing off. It's kind of faded. I think did you get it on eBay?
Wow. Okay. No, I got it over there.
Okay, so he got it, and I think where'd you have this car before? This Miami, right?
Yeah.
So he had it down in Miami. Miami sun probably killed it. It's a little anodized, and it almost looks gold. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but you know, this is it's kind of a graphite color vehicle, and that really throws it off. Once it's black, I think that'll break up the whole side of the car a little bit and give it a little bit of something. And then he's got 3-inch exhaust. It's catback exhaust. You know, it sounds pretty good. It runs pretty good. Like I showed you before, it has a tune. But yeah, 6 hours of work and pretty straightforward. I think it came out pretty damn nice. He went ahead and kind of cleaned up the engine bay, and we were gonna wash it when we got back from the test drive, but it looks pretty ominous, so we're probably not gonna get out. It looks even worse on camera. So we're probably not gonna wash it today. We cleaned up the tires and the wheels, and you know, maybe the rain will wash this old bastard off. And I know you guys got to be waiting on content for this thing. Holy shit, right? Fucking asshole. I ain't done shit on this thing. Actually, I don't know if you can tell, I kind of have a little bit of a cold, and turns out November would have been the time to get a lot of this work done, because November was like in the 70s for like weeks at a time, and then March hits and it snows and it's down in the 30s, and it's blowing people's sprinkler systems up and whatnot. And I kind of drug my feet on getting this heater fixed, so I'm not going to come out here and work on this, because basically what I got left is laying on the concrete and installing my fuel pump and fuel lines and all that fun stuff. So yeah, and that's stuff I really want to be out here doing, especially when I'm sick. The whole family kind of was sick for a while between allergies and bullshit. You know, when you got a 2-year-old in the house, they're like a little damn germ factory, especially when they're going to daycare and they're around, you know, multiple germ factories. So this is kind of it. I did get my welder hooked up, so I got to do a couple things with it. I've got a date set up for the dyno. I have a tentative date set up to get the exhaust put in. I'm on leave in 2 weeks. I got a week off, and that's when I plan on polishing this bitch off and calling it for the summer, and hopefully getting it out. It does run, it does start. The wiring part I still need to polish up, but yeah, we're pretty much good to go. So sorry about not bringing any content for that, or fucking any content at all, basically. But really haven't done anything, to be 100% honest. You know, basic shit. I'm remodeling a bathroom. I could bring you guys some household how-tos if you guys want, but that's not really why I started the channel. So yeah, Allison's car's done. He actually let me do it. He was in Korea and was gonna let me do some work on it while he was there, but there was kind of a miscommunication between him and the parts people, and the parts didn't end up coming. And then when they showed up, it literally, they showed up on a Friday, it blizzard on a Saturday, and I picked him up on Sunday, and it was just the timing was kind of shit. But 2 weeks later, I called him last night and said, look, let's just bring it out. We'll bang it out tomorrow, and should get it done before the end of the day. He showed up at 9, and we banged it out. We went and got lunch, and that's with like a hour-and-a-half lunch break too. So not too bad. So hope you. I know I didn't bring you like a lot of how-tos. It's pretty straightforward. Coilover install. If most of y'all have done coilover installs, they pretty much all go to same. I wish I would have done more footage on my Lexus, because the engineering of the Lexus is absolutely awesome. And it took 2 days to install the coilovers on that car. And I wish I would have filmed more of it, because the engineering of the chassis of that vehicle, like I said, is pretty badass. And it would have been cool to film that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. He's happy. I'm happy enough. I may even give him an 8-bomb sticker if he'll rep. And I'm happy enough with the way that the car turned out. Even though I was saying, look, you know, it's a V6. I ain't giving you no 8-bomb stickers. I'll probably hook him up, because I think it looks pretty dope. So, all right, guys, take it easy.